A real review of building my own swimming pool, the aftermath, and was it really worth it? We all got up to some weird stuff during lockdown, didn't we? But looking back at it now with a fresh perspective, deciding to build a swimming pool in my back garden was a bit of an extreme coping mechanism. So roll it back to 2020 and I hired a mini digger for the weekend and weirdly thought nothing of completely destroying my garden by digging a pretty amateur looking burial site in it. Just to note, at this point in the project, I'd never driven one of these before, and also I hadn't got a clue about how a swimming pool was actually built. I know they say follow your dreams and believe in yourself, but I really was taking the piss at this point. It did begin to dawn on me pretty quickly what an absolute idiot I was thinking that this was a good idea, and after watching a lot of American YouTube pool build videos, I quickly realised that there was no way I was going to get this ready by summer. So cue the next 2 years of me picking this project up and then dropping it with the same passion that I started it with every time a bit of bad weather came, or I just got a bit bored and procrastinated by doing something else. I was sharing all of this on my Instagram stories, and by this point we were all having a laugh at how long this was taking and what a tit I was for starting it. And I've got to say again, looking back at this now, these messages definitely got me through this project, because if I wasn't laughing about it, I would have probably spent the 2 years crying every time I looked at it. But as summer 2022 crept up, I really was desperate to finish this project, but it felt like it was never going to end, even though everyone was absolutely sick of it. A bit like Love Island. But like that, as summer was coming to an end, some of the nation even seemed to join in my rejoicing as it was finally over. So how does this one rate on the pounds to pleasure scale? For pounds, the beauty of me making an absolute mess of this and taking so long meant I could spread the cost out and save up for parts as I went along, but overall the total cost of doing this was between 8 and 10k, so for that I'll give it a 7. And for pleasure, fuck me, where do I even start with this one? I will forever be traumatised by this. But for the few weeks of the year that it's actually hot in the UK, it is the best thing I've ever done. The kids love it and hopefully they'll grow up with great memories in here. But as soon as summer ends and the darkness arrives, it comes to visit me in my nightmares, mocking me for taking 2 years of my freedom away. Looking back, I'd have probably prefer to do a 2-year stretch in HMP than do that again. But if push come to shove and we ever did move, I'd probably do it all over again. But anyway, back to the pleasure score. So when it's summer and the kids are enjoying it, I'll give it a 10. But for the actual pleasure of the building process, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. These wounds will never heal. So for that, I'll give it a -10. I'm not sure what overall real review rating score that gets. And would I recommend building your own swimming pool in the UK? If you're willing to give a bit of your soul up so you could have a dip in the summer, then it's well worth it. See you next time.